Well, it's officially official. The Republicans have reached a new level of extremism. So I have an article from NBC News, and it goes, a group of 8 Republican state legislators sent a letter to the president of the Georgia Beverage Association over the weekend asking to have Coca-Cola products removed from their offices after the company's CEO criticized the state's controversial new voting law. And the statement goes as follows: giving Coke's choice to cave to the pressure of an out-of-control cancel culture, we respectfully request all Coca-Cola company products be removed from our office suite immediately, the group said in a letter that was obtained by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. So in response to what they refer to as an out-of-control cancel culture, they want to participate in said out-of-control cancel culture by canceling Coca-Cola. Just so we understand. Let's continue. The beverage giant, which is headquartered in Atlanta and employs about 4,000 Georgians, has provided free drinks for lawmakers' offices for decades. Governor Brian Kemp, meanwhile, told reporters Coke and other corporate critics of the new voting law may be scared of Stacey Abrams and Joe Biden and the left, but I am not. I assure you, Brian Kemp is not afraid of Joe Biden, Stacey Abrams, and the left. So this is a extremist, fanatical, dogmatic, chauvinistic, and just, it's an outright narrow-minded approach to this issue, which isn't even an issue. So basically what happened was, if you're not aware, Georgia recently passed a slew of restrictive election laws. It comes as a direct retaliation to this most recent election with Donald Trump spewing the rhetoric that it was a fraud, it was a rigged election, he really won, there was a lot of voting fraud. There were no cases of fraud, okay? They went to court however many times, and they lost pretty much every case. And the cases that they won, which was like 1 or 2, were on the basis of pretty much nothing, okay? And so they passed these slew of election legislations that are very restrictive, and I will give you a couple of provisions, okay? This isn't everything, but so the law basically, it allows the legislator to appoint the chair of the state election board. Previously, the board was chaired by the Secretary of State. It will dramatically shorten runoff elections from 9 weeks to less than a month and cut the early voting period required for runoff elections from 3 weeks to 1 week. It will also require identification for mail voting. It previously did not. It will also make it illegal to take food and water to voters in line. Now, we know that when it comes to voting, you can stand in line for hours. They don't even want you to have food or water. That's what these election laws permit. And the Coca-Cola CEO came out and basically railed against it. And now they're claiming that now he and, the corporate CEOs over Coca-Cola are their enemies. Now, I am no supporter, no ally, no Coca-Cola apologist, but this is absolutely absurd. And if you are a Republican and you come across this video, and you haven't already disliked it or clicked off, I would like to extend an olive branch to you simply because this is so ridiculous, and hopefully even these people's supporters, no matter how rabid they may be, can in fact see how insane this truly is. But I'm not done just yet. So Rand Paul and Mitch McConnell also chimed in to this Coca-Cola debate, and what they had to say was absolutely stunning. Take a look at Mitch McConnell first.
And I found it completely discouraging to find a bunch of corporate CEOs getting in the middle of politics. My advice to the corporate CEOs of America is to stay out of politics.
Wow. Okay. And I quote, he said, my advice to the corporate CEOs of America is to stay out of politics. Okay, so fuck your donors. So get rid of all your donors. Say goodbye to the people that fund your political campaigns, and say goodbye to the people's whose bidding you've been continuously doing for your entire career. Okay, because those corporate CEOs that he was referring to, these big corporations, these are the people who fund their political campaigns. These are the people that, they don't do the will of the people. They do the will of the corporations. He thinks that we're idiots. He thinks that you guys are idiots. He thinks that nobody knows this. No. This is broad spread knowledge. We all know this nonsense. So why does he say something like that? Oh, well, it's a corporation that he doesn't agree with. It's a corporation that's opposed to their ideology, at least in this respect, in regards to these new voting laws. Okay, that's not it. Next up, we got Rand Paul. Take a look at what he had to say.
But my point is, yeah, if they want to boycott us, why don't we boycott them? This is the only thing that will teach them a lesson. If Coca-Cola wants to only operate in Democrat states and wants only Democrats to drink Coca-Cola, God love them. We'll see how well they do when half of the country quits drinking Coca-Cola, when half the country quits using Delta.
What a dipshit. What a complete idiot. And I quote, if they want to boycott us, why don't we boycott them? Who is boycotting you, Rand? Who is it's not Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola is boycotting you because their CEO disagreed with their election laws. It's completely fanatical. It's so hyperbolic and it's so reactionary. If they want to boycott us, why don't we boycott them? This is the same guy. These are the same people that will rail against cancel culture. Oh, woke left, cancel left. If they don't like something, they just want to get rid of it. What the fuck is this? What is this? Somebody explain this to me. I don't understand. It's so ridiculous. He said this is the only thing that will teach them a lesson. If a Coca-Cola wants to only operate in Democrat states and only have Democrats drink them, when did they say that? God love them. We'll see how well they do when half the country quits drinking Coca-Cola. Okay, listen, you idiot. Half the country is never going to stop drinking Coca-Cola. You want to know why? Because it's insanely popular. Now, I don't drink Coke. I don't drink any kind of sodas, period. Okay? But that's just my decision. People aren't going to stop drinking Coke because Rand Paul says that we should boycott Coca-Cola and Mitch McConnell and whoever the fuck, what kind of Republican lawmaker says that Coke isn't the thing anymore. So ridiculous. Half the country is going to stop drinking Coca-Cola. And now they want to boycott Coca-Cola. Last but not least, however, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Donald Trump. And he put out a statement, and I'm going to read that statement to you because this is the perfect icing on the cake to this entire debacle. For years, the radical left Democrats have played dirty by boycotting products when anything from that company is done or stated in any way that offends them. Now they are going big time with the woke cancel culture and our sacred elections. It is finally time for Republicans and conservatives to fight back. We have more people than they do by far. Boycott Major League Baseball, Coca-Cola, Delta Airlines, JP Morgan Chase, Viacom CBS, Citigroup, Cisco, UPS, and Merck. Don't go back to their products until they relent. We can play a better game than them. Well, there you fucking have it. They don't like cancel culture. They're against cancel culture. But he just named a slew of organizations and corporations and entities to boycott and to cancel. I don't want to hear another fucking thing from any Republican, from any legislator, period, that associates themselves with the right wing, that they don't like cancel culture, that they're against cancel culture. And let me just say one last thing in my closing arguments. You wonder why we don't have health care? You wonder why weed is still illegal at the federal level? You want to know why we continuously fight these endless wars? We've been in Afghanistan for 20 years now. You want to know why things are so bad and things are the way they are in this country? You want to know why we've handled the pandemic so poorly? Because these dipshits run the country. These are the idiots. These are our leaders that are supposed to be making all the intelligent decisions. You know, when I was a child and I didn't really care about politics, you know, the thing that I always assumed was that, okay, well, I shouldn't have to care about politics because the most important people are doing the hardest job, or the most intelligent people are doing the hardest job. So we don't have to worry about it because it's all in their hands and they got it. They know what they're doing. False. False. These people are frauds, they're liars, they're hyperbolic, they're reactionaries, okay? And this is why things don't get done.